I'm going because you know where I've been. I've stood up for the issues that you care about.
Oh, we remember your views on illegal immigration, Senator.
Instead of worrying about whether immigrants can learn English, you need to make sure your child can speak Spanish.
Our country deserves secure borders, not the liberal immigration policies of Barack Obama.
Millions of illegal aliens in the U.S. Barack Obama's plan gives a driver's license to any illegal who wants one. But that's not all. Obama's plan gives illegals Social Security benefits and raises taxes for his health care plan to cover them. Who pays? You do. Driver's licenses and government benefits for illegals. Higher taxes for us. That's Obama's plan. Obama. Too radical. Too risky.
Outrage tonight that hundreds of thousands of illegal aliens will receive jobs under the federal stimulus plan. New studies show those jobs would be primarily in the construction industry. The hiring of illegal immigrants would be prevented, however, if businesses were using the federal E-Verify program. E-Verify is the most successful federal program to prevent illegal workers from taking American jobs. Casey Wyan has our report from Los Angeles. Casey.
Lou, the federal stimulus bill is expected to create about 2 million construction jobs, many of them on highway projects like this one over the next several years. But about 15% of those jobs, or about 300,000 positions, could go to illegal aliens, according to the Center for Immigration Studies. That's because Congress decided to remove a provision that would have required all contractors receiving federal money, federal stimulus money, to enroll in the E-Verify program and use it. Now, an E-Verify mandate was part of the House's version of the stimulus bill, but it was not in the Senate's bill, and it did not make the final version.
This was a conscious effort. It was in there and they took it out. Why did they take out E-Verify? Well, it's hard to say, but it seems that it was an effort to give something to the ethnic advocacy groups within the Democratic Party. And this way, at least, it's like a cutback in enforcement of immigration laws.
Now, all of this is happening while a growing number of businesses are voluntarily signing up for E-Verify. The Department of Homeland Security is expected to process 17 million inquiries from more than 100,000 employers using the E-Verify system just this year. And despite its rapidly rising popularity, the Obama administration has delayed until May 21st, making E-Verify mandatory for all federal contractors. This is causing many border security advocates to say that this administration is simply trying to weaken immigration law enforcement, Lou.
And there shouldn't be a surprise there. President Obama, as a candidate, made it very clear he was in favor of amnesty. He's in favor of driver's license for illegal aliens. It's a very direct record that he put forward. It's one of the clearest, in fact, I think you could say, for any part of his campaign. But the idea that E-Verify, I talked with Senator Jeff Sessions today, who tried to put forward an amendment that would extend E-Verify for 5 years, Casey, and Senator Harry Reid, the majority leader, would not permit, when Senator Mitch McConnell, the minority leader, advanced it as an amendment, wouldn't permit and objected to its inclusion. So there is at best within the omnibus bill a 6-month extension. This is such doublespeak on the part of, frankly, the administration and Senator Harry Reid, and saying one thing to their constituents, saying another once they have the power to move an amendment forward.
Yeah, and Lou, and to that point, then candidate Obama and his now Department of Homeland Security Secretary, Janet Napolitano, both publicly came out in support of E-Verify. Yet this administration and the Democratic leadership in Congress seem to be doing everything they can to delay its further implementation, Lou.
Yeah, and I don't think that we should in any way pretend that we are shocked that the would-be politics as usual, despite all the hoopla about change that we could believe in up until about November 4th. All right, Casey, thank you very much.
For law enforcement working to curb gang violence in Utah. Dozens of suspected violent gang members are in jail, and families of their victims say they have finally started to heal. Today brought three big announcements. First, an international manhunt for a killer has ended with his capture. Then charges have been filed in the case of a 7-year-old girl gunned down in a drive-by shooting.
Finally, the announcement that 50 illegal immigrants tied to gang activity have been arrested as part of a statewide operation. Sarah Dolph joins us now.
Well, Bruce and Deanie, that statewide operation is headed by the U.S. Department of Justice. They call it Operation Community Shield and say those 50 people arrested are just the beginning. It was a sweep criminals didn't see coming. In late June, dozens arrested in Utah County during a week-long raid. Today, the U.S. Department of Justice announced that and a similar operation in Ogden netted 50 illegal aliens tied to gang activity.
While we are tired and frustrated and upset about gang violence, we are equally as motivated to eradicate it.
Many of those arrested had been previously deported from the U.S., some as recently as March of this year.
Many of these individuals had simply made a mockery of our immigration laws. They had been previously convicted of other violations, deported, and are using our borders as a revolving door.
And he just started shooting at us, and we just started running back this way, and that's when we just saw my little cousin bleeding to death.
Also today, charges filed against 3 people accused in a drive-by shooting that killed a 7-year-old girl. Investigators say 16-year-old Gabriel Olivares, 20-year-old Frank Benavidez, and 16-year-old Mae Johnson have ties to local gangs.
We just won't tolerate this type of gang violence in our community.
Just a sister for my dad. Thank you.
And a bittersweet victory in the same neighborhood as family of Fabiola Hernandez thanked law enforcement for catching the man who shot and killed her during a robbery 11 months ago.
She's gone forever. She's really gone forever.
Miguel Mateos Martinez, a known gang member, had been listed as one of the U.S. Marshals' 15 most wanted. On Sunday, he was finally captured near Ensenada, Mexico. City leaders vow he'll be extradited back to Utah.
So I'm glad this individual's been caught. I'll be glad when he's in Salt Lake City here and he stands trial for the crime that he's done.
The prosecutors say that extradition won't happen overnight. It will take time and a series of legal proceedings. But they say this case and these others send the message to gang members: you will be caught, you will go to prison. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Sarah.